All right. Well, I'd like to welcome everyone. This is our 12th. It's got a little closer this week. So this is our 12th weekly meeting for the Trunk Highway 61 Main Street project. Just like to welcome those here and watching. Hope everyone had a safe and good holiday here. And things are progressing. Concrete guys are down there now getting some strings set up and working on some forming. They started late last week as well. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ryan, kind of give us our schedule update, and then I got a few comments I'll make at the end here.
Thanks, Corey. Well, like we said last week, right now we still got Bush and Potter closed with Plum being open. We're thinking that's going to go through probably the majority of next week, if not all of it, and then we'll have to flip that, close Plum and open up Bush and Potter. And that duration will likely be about 2 weeks on that closure. With that in mind, they're working, like Corey said, on setting up string lines to get some curb started down there. You'll be pouring some sidewalks and some ped ramps, working towards getting the main drive lanes poured hopefully later this week or maybe into early next, and pouring those intersection back so we can open up those other streets, Bush and Potter, probably early next week. Following that up with the sidewalk, and then of course the parking lanes, and then the last piece of concrete will be the when we do make that flip, we'll have to pave out the Plum intersection. Of course, with that, all that work, we still have some lighting systems that have to go in as well. So that's pretty much our 3 week. I don't know, week 4 or so, we'll be looking to flip. Maybe in week 5, I guess, looking to flip traffic to the other side and do it all again.
Sure. All right. Well, thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I think the message is still holding true what we've been communicating here. The straight curb is going to be the main focus. And then they also are working on some of the bump outs and ADA facilities on the two closed streets, Bush and Potter. So those are going to kind of work consecutively. And that's with good weather here that will get that, at least the straight curb done this week. They're going to try to get some of the mainline paving started and hopefully completed this week. Friday doesn't look great, but we'll see what that brings. And then, as Ryan said, once we get the main lines done, probably look at working on the closed intersections. The one thing to keep in mind as you're seeing the concrete work happening here is that there's a cure time with all these components. So even though it may look like an area is left vacant for several days, it's strategic and planned and required, quite frankly, to make sure the concrete cures out appropriately before you can get back on it. So that'll be a big piece here, especially out in the roadway. Once things start taking shape, as far as once you say pave the drive lanes, how quickly you can be back on them to get the parking lane paved. So just be cognizant of that, and there's a lot of logistics to minimize that and keep things moving forward. And so we haven't worked through all the details of the concrete yet. It's so much just how things progress, weather. But I think, as Ryan indicated, we're going to keep in this configuration for the rest of this week and likely all of next week before we look at closing Plum. And just understanding how significantly it's traveled on that temporary surface, I think we're gonna try to get Plum paved as quickly as it allows. So we will just continue to update, and things go well. Hopefully that's just about 2 weeks out. Beyond the concrete work, we've got a couple things we're tracking. There's the Lake City bike tour de Pepin. That's this Saturday. We've been working with them all throughout this spring. I think we have a really good plan in place. They're going to come off the bridge. They're going to make a left turn onto Potter, and they have a little staging area there, and then they're just going to head out on 7th Street. So been working with their organizer, and I think everything's really on board there. We got them in contact with the police department, maybe help with some direction there at Potter and 3rd, and left that on their court to pursue. I didn't hear the final results on that, but so that's this Saturday, and should go off without a hitch, hopefully, with the construction there. And then the other thing we're tracking is there's the car show downtown Bush Street. The Father's Day car show, and historically they've been between Main and 3rd Street on Bush. And we've been tracking this, and obviously with Bush closed, that'd be about just ideal for them. But looking ahead here, there's just really going to be no guarantee that we can promise that. And so we're going to circle back with them and advise them it might just be ideal or best for them to plan to use 3rd to 4th Bush Street. And the real issue here is that if we're with Plum closed, that Bush Street between Main and Third is awful busy and won't really be ideal at all for staging a car show. So I just wanted to provide an update on that. We'll formally communicate that to the organizers, but
we've been kind of in contact with them.
We have.
But now we're starting to get a clearer picture of where the contractor is and the variant, the possibility that we really may need Bush to be open so we can finish off Plum. We need to talk with the car show organizers to make sure that we're planning appropriately, and we don't want to slow anyone down here with the construction. If it needs to be Bush Street, because we got to get Plum paved, we'll have to do that. So that was one thing that we kind of talked about today. So we'll be in touch with the car show organizers here this week and kind of organize that. So. Then you had River City Days. Do you have anything you wanted to say on that?
Yeah, not too much. Just we certainly understand the significance of that, and we're way too far out to predict that to any degree. But hopefully, we're near wrapping up in a perfect world, and so we're aware of that. And we've done some preliminary planning with the Bay Point Park signing that's been out here for months now, in the different areas at Bench Street and Old West Main, and so we can look at the signing needs there if it makes sense based where we're at. I know we put up a couple signs last year that said just that, River City, and I don't foresee any major issue with that at all once we kind of know what we're trying to sign around. So, but just want to let you know that we're tracking these things and committed to being as flexible as we can. But as Jay said, we just don't want to make any false promises, and we don't want to hold up progression either if we can at all help it. So. I think with that, we turn it over to a few questions here. I think that was mainly the updates here. Go ahead, Marcy.
Just a reminder that Crazy Days this year is the week. Crazy Days this year is the week before River City Days, not the week of River City Days. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Okay. Thanks for staying on top of those things.
Okay. That's the Saturday before River City Days.
The last week in July, the last Saturday in July.
Last Saturday in July, okay.
The contact on that is downtown Main Street.
Okay.
I invited Arlen Volan today to come to the meeting. He is actually the Father's Day car show organizer. So we can maybe
meet. I think Ron Rosenthal from the engineering department has been in contact with you, or
has Ron Rosenthal been in contact with you?
Ron? No. Okay.
No. So maybe we'll just hang out after the meeting and we'll work out whatever details.
That sounds good. Then we can kind of talk that through and see what works the best. But yeah. Ron was left today's meeting saying he was going to give you a call, so maybe we could just talk about it now. So, all right,
perfect.
Or after the meeting.
All right.
Any other questions or comments, in the audience?
All right. Well,
go right into that then?
To go in the car show?
Yeah, we're going to talk car show.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So thank you for attending, and we'll see you next week. So
thank you.